Have you ever stopped to think that certain innocent, everyday habits could be sabotaging your health and preventing you from losing weight, even if you're trying to do everything right? Many people don't understand why they keep gaining weight, feeling constant tiredness, a bloated belly, and difficulty losing fat even when dieting. The problem may lie precisely in simple but extremely harmful routines, which are leading thousands of people directly to the diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. And the worst part, these habits are repeated every day without anyone noticing. They affect your metabolism, deregulate your blood sugar levels, and completely block the natural fat-burning process. If you feel like your body is stuck, that it seems impossible to lose weight, even if you eat little, this video was made for you. Today, I will show you the 7 most dangerous habits for those who want to lose weight, control glucose, and avoid diabetes. And if you continue with them, you may be putting yourself at risk without knowing it. These dangerous habits don't just impact your glucose, they also prevent your body from actually losing weight. Because losing weight in a healthy way isn't just about eating less or killing yourself at the gym. It has to do with your metabolism working as it should. And most people who struggle with the scales, maybe even you who are here now, don't even suspect that what's holding everything back are automatic actions, which are repeated every day. Let's start with the first silent saboteur: sedentary lifestyle. If you spend hours sitting without moving your body, even if you go for a walk every now and then, your metabolism starts to slow down. This impairs insulin sensitivity, increases resistance, and as a result, the body begins to accumulate fat more easily, especially in the belly. And do you know which is the worst? Abdominal fat is one of the main factors responsible for unbalancing your glucose levels and preventing you from going into fat-burning mode. The body literally becomes inflamed, and this leaves you further and further away from the weight loss you so desire. The second dangerous habit is excessive consumption of ultra-processed foods. Maybe you think you're eating just a cookie, just a roll, but the truth is that these foods are loaded with hidden sugars, trans fats, preservatives, and ingredients that completely mess up your metabolic hormones. They cause insulin spikes, and when insulin is always high, the body understands that it needs to store fat, not burn it. Result, you feel hungrier, more tired, and less energy to train, to take care of yourself, to react. Furthermore, these foods inflame your body, fuel insulin resistance, and put you on the direct path to type 2 diabetes. If you already understand the importance of this and want to continue receiving tips like these, do the following now. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Not only does this help me keep bringing you life-changing content, it also helps you stay focused. What's more, by liking and subscribing, you are helping other people who are also struggling with weight and diabetes to find this video. This is a chain of good. Your attitude today can transform someone's health tomorrow. Next, the third habit may even seem healthy: skipping breakfast or only consuming carbohydrates at that time of the day. This is where a lot of people make a big mistake without realizing it. A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to skip the coffee to save calories, or I'm just going to eat a bagel with coffee, which is great. But this behavior could be sabotaging your entire weight loss process. When you start the day with glucose spikes, which happens when consuming simple carbohydrates early, your body goes into a state of alert. Insulin spikes, your appetite increases throughout the day, and you feel more like eating sweets or snacks all the time. Furthermore, starting the day without quality nutrients directly affects your energy, focus, and willingness to make good food choices. The fourth habit is ignored by almost everyone: poor sleep quality. Sleeping little or poorly disrupts all your hormones, including those that control hunger and satiety. When you sleep poorly, cortisol, the stress hormone, increases, insulin deregulates, and ghrelin, the hunger hormone, increases. Result, you wake up tired, with more desire to eat, and what's worse, with a greater tendency to choose sugary or high-calorie foods, looking for quick energy. And all of this is reflected on the scale, in the increase in abdominal fat, and in the absurd difficulty of losing weight even when eating less. And the most dangerous thing, poor sleep also increases the risk of developing insulin resistance, which is a direct step towards type 2 diabetes. And do you know what makes everything even more serious? It's just that many times we normalize this. Waking up tired becomes a routine. A biscuit for coffee becomes a habit, and the body gives increasingly clear signs that something is not right. A belly that doesn't deflate, blood sugar levels that fluctuate, energy that disappears, and the blame falls on genetics or age, when in fact, it's these habits that need to be eliminated and replaced. In the next few minutes, you will realize that changing this is not as difficult as it seems. Just understand how your body works and act consistently, because your body is not sabotaging you. It is only reacting to the commands you send. And now that you're here, conscious, you can start changing those commands. Another habit that completely stops your weight loss and drastically increases your risk of diabetes is living in constant state of stress. Many people don't even realize it, but that accumulation of tension, worries about bills, work, health, all of this generates a daily discharge of cortisol, the stress hormone, in your body. And when cortisol is elevated all the time, it disrupts the action of insulin, favors the accumulation of visceral fat, and prevents fat burning. The body understands that it is in danger and begins to store energy, mainly in the form of abdominal fat. Furthermore, constant stress increases the desire to eat foods rich in sugar and carbohydrates as a form of emotional compensation, which only worsens blood glucose levels and creates a vicious cycle. In other words, if you really want to lose weight and control your metabolic health, you need to learn how to control daily stress. Your body needs hormonal balance to function well, and that starts in your mind. And yes, there is still one more invisible factor that could be preventing your transformation. Let's talk about him now. And this invisible but extremely dangerous factor is the accumulation of abdominal fat, especially that deep fat, called visceral fat. It's not just aesthetic, it's metabolically active and extremely inflammatory. This means that it releases substances that increase insulin resistance, raise blood glucose levels, and completely slow down your metabolism. And the scary thing is that even people who are not overweight in BMI can have this hidden fat and be at risk. When this fat settles, it compromises the functioning of internal organs such as the liver and pancreas, making it difficult to produce and properly use insulin. Result: the body enters a constant state of alert where losing weight becomes increasingly difficult, even with diet. Therefore, it is essential to understand that losing this fat is not just a matter of vanity, it is a matter of health and prevention against type 2 diabetes. And there is another silent error that takes you even further away from this goal. This mistake is so common that you might not even realize you're making it. Not monitoring your blood sugar or having regular tests. Many people think they should only worry about blood sugar when they are already sick. But the problem is that type 2 diabetes doesn't show a clear sign at the beginning. It sets in silently as your metabolism becomes increasingly insulin resistant, your pancreas overloads, and fat-burning blocks. And without this follow-up, you are left in the dark. It's like trying to lose weight without knowing if you're on the right path. When you measure your fasting blood glucose, for example, or take tests such as glycated hemoglobin, you find out if you are in a risk group, if you are inflamed inside, or even if you have already developed prediabetes without knowing it. And the sooner you know this, the more likely you are to reverse it. Controlling weight, lowering visceral fat, and balancing hormones starts with information. And now let's talk about a habit that few people relate to weight loss, but which directly interferes with your progress. One of the most neglected habits by those who want to lose weight and control their blood sugar is precisely what should be an absolute priority, or IM. Yes, sleeping well is one of the most powerful weapons to rebalance metabolism, accelerate fat burning, and reduce insulin resistance. But in practice, most people sleep poorly, sleep little, or have fragmented sleep, full of interruptions. And this has a direct impact on the hormones that control your appetite, the way your body stores fat, and even your willpower the next day. When you sleep less than necessary, the ideal would be between 7 and 8 hours of deep, restful sleep. Your body releases more cortisol, the stress hormone. This increase in cortisol alone already deregulates your blood sugar levels. But it doesn't stop there. Poor sleep also increases ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, and reduces leptin, which is the satiety hormone. Result: you wake up hungrier, with more desire for high-calorie and sugary foods, and with less energy to resist these temptations. Furthermore, a tired body doesn't burn fat as it should. The metabolism slows down, the body accumulates fluids and toxins, and the weight loss process simply stops. And even if you diet, practice physical activity and avoid sugar, if you are not taking care of the quality of your sleep, your body will continue to be in defense mode, holding on to fat as a form of protection. It's like trying to accelerate a car with the handbrake on. You can even try to compensate with coffee or supplements, but the truth is that nothing replaces deep, continuous sleep to restore your hormonal and metabolic functions. If you really want to change your body, sleep needs to be treated as a priority and not as a detail. And now that you understand this crucial point, let's talk about something even more common that could be sabotaging your results, even though it seems harmless. This last habit may seem harmless, even normal to many people, but it is among the biggest saboteurs of weight loss and blood sugar control. Snacking all the time between meals, especially foods rich in simple carbohydrates. You know that habit of grabbing a cookie here, a loaf of bread there, a sweet piece of fruit out of season, or even that cup of coffee with sugar several times a day? All of this triggers insulin repeatedly, preventing your body from accessing fat stores as an energy source. When insulin is always high, the metabolism goes into storage mode, and fat burning practically stops. Furthermore, this constant fluctuation in blood glucose causes energy spikes followed by sudden drops, which leaves you hungrier, irritable, and feeling weak. In other words, this habit, as common as it may seem, puts your metabolic health at risk and sabotages all your efforts for real results. And now that you know the 7 habits that keep you from your transformation, it's time to take the next step. Now that you know these 7 habits that silently sabotage your weight loss, deregulate your blood sugar, and drastically increase the risk of developing type 2 diabetes, it's time to look at yourself with responsibility and attitude. It's not about perfection, it's about awareness. Your body has been trying to warn you for a long time. That feeling of constant bloating, the difficulty in losing weight even if you eat little, the drowsiness after meals, the unexplained tiredness. These are all signs that something is wrong inside. And when you understand that these habits, even the most innocent ones, are inflaming your metabolism, blocking fat burning, and accelerating the path towards chronic disease, it becomes clear that continuing to repeat this is a risk not worth taking. But it is also clear that change is possible, because reversal begins in consciousness. And today you have already taken a big step just by being here until now, seeking this knowledge. The good news is that there are natural, simple, and affordable solutions that can help you restore your metabolic balance, lose weight in a healthy way, and even prevent the progression to type 2 diabetes. It all starts with choices: a meal, a good night's sleep, a walk. Small actions that, repeated every day, create a transformation from the inside out. And if you've come this far, don't stop now, because in the next video, I'll show you what's happening inside your body when you ignore these 7 habits. You will understand how your body reacts to each of them and why acting now is the only way to avoid serious complications such as blindness, kidney failure, amputations, and even life-threatening injuries. So get ready, because the video, Ignoring These 7 Habits Can Lead You to Type 2 Diabetes, Act Today, is waiting for you. Click now and find out why time is against you and why every day late could cost you your health. It's urgent, it's real, and you need to see it before it's too late.